Good morning, all of you. Once again, welcome back to our online classes. Now, on our previous class, what we have been discussed is that about linear equations and how the solution of a linear equation can be done. Okay, on the basis of that, today we are going to discuss about some word problems. So, word problems that can be done with the help of linear equations. That would be our topic today. So, in all such word problems, there would be certain mathematical statements given for you. Mathematical statements or some conditions would be given as statements. Okay, and all those statements you need to consider and modulate all those given statements into a linear equation. And for developing this such a linear equation, first of all we need to choose some variables or the alphabets. And usually the variables or alphabets are chosen according to the question. In most of the cases, we choose the variables which are the unknowns that have to be found as per the question. As per the question, there would be some unknowns which has to be found, and those unknowns are most probably we are choosing as the variables, just like x, y, or a, b, c, etc. Okay, then according to the question we would develop, with the help of these variables we would develop a linear equation, and when we solve that linear equation we would get the value of this x, y, or the chosen variable. Okay, and that is what is the unknown which has to be found as per the question. Okay, as per the word problem. So this is how we are going to do word problems. So let's check some questions and be familiar with solving word problems with the help of linear equations. All of you listen, here is a question given for you. First of all, read the question carefully. 1/3 of a number is 8 less than the number. What is the number? So there is a number and you need to find that number. So actually here our unknown is actually that number. Okay, so we can choose the unknown as the variable or the alphabet. Okay, so I am going to assume, let the number is, usually we take which alphabet? X. So I just assumed that the number may be x. Now this x can be formulated. Using this x we can develop a linear equation. For that this statement would help us. What is actually mean by this statement? 1/3 of a number. It has been told that our number is x. Now what is 1/3 of the number means? X by 3 or 1/3 into x. That is 1/3 of a number. And that 1/3 into x is actually x by 3. We are dividing x into 3 equal parts. Out of that, one part. That is 1/3 of a number which is x by 3. 1/3 of a number is 8 less than the number, which means that 1/3 of a number is equal to 8 less than the number. The number again, which is the same, x. It is not equal to x itself. It is equal to 8 less than this number. How can you write 8 less than a number? You can just subtract 8 from that number. Now this whole statement is just converted to a linear equation. How did it happen? From the question, as per the question, we just choose an unknown or a variable. Okay. Now that variable, using that variable, we developed a linear equation. Now this would be 1/3 of a number is 8 less than the number. Okay, so that is what is actually this equation means. Now our question is, what is the number? What is the number means we need to find the value of this x, and the value of this x can be found out by solving this linear equation. And you can see that this equation, there is a number at the denominator, so we can use LCM method. There is only one number at the denominator, so we are going to multiply this equation by 3. Multiply the equation by 3. Okay, so what happened when this equation is multiplied by 3? It would be 3 into x by 3. That would be equals 3 into x minus 8. Now these two 3's can be cancelled off, so that here it would be only x. And on the right side we can put the equal sign, and on the right side it is 3 into x, which is 3x. Now there would be a negative sign. Now on next we need to multiply 3 and 8. So just writing 3 into 8. On the next step we can write x equals 3x minus, what is 3 8s are 24. Now what we want to do, in order to find x, all the x containing terms has to be brought to the left, so that it would be just like this. This x is already on the left. Now this plus 3x, which when brought to the left hand side, it would become minus 3x. Thereafter we can put the equal sign. Now the number remaining, that is already on the right hand side, so there is no change for sign or not, nothing. Okay, there is no change. The number is minus 24 itself. Now what we want to do, we need to solve this. You can see that here it is 1x and here it is minus 3x. So our operation is 1 minus 3. What is 1 minus 3? You can do greater minus smaller. 3 minus 1, which is 2. And that 2 would be minus 2, because the sign must be of the greater number. Clear? So it would become minus 2x with it. Okay, that would be equal to minus 24. Now we need to, we can easily cancel these two minus signs. Okay, so that it would become 2x equals 24. Now to find x, it would be 24 divided by 2. X would be equal to, what would be 24 by 2? It would be 12. Clear? So we just got the value of x. Now in order to complete this question, we need to write the statement. The number is 12. That's all. Then we just completed this problem. So this was a mathematical statement. We converted it into a linear equation by choosing a variable x and solved that linear equation to get the answer. Okay, this is how we are going to do some other problems also. Here it is another problem. First of all, we can read and understand this problem very well. So the question is, the sum of two numbers is 40. So there are two numbers and we don't have any idea of which are the numbers, but their sum is 40. Clear? One number is 10 more than the other. So there is one more relation between these two numbers. One number is 10 more than the other. So when we compare the two numbers, their difference would be 10. Okay. Now, what are the numbers? If so, you need to find which are those numbers. Clear? So, on the previous question, there had only one unknown we have to find. Only a single number we had to find. But in here, there are two numbers. So, we can either take those numbers as x comma y. But in order to solve them with the help of linear equation, we can choose only one variable, either x or y or a or any alphabet, but we only need one variable. Okay, so by using, if we are choosing one number as x, so that x is used to state the other number, the second number also. Using x itself, we need to represent both the numbers. Okay, that is what is for the relation between the two numbers is given here. So here we can take one of the number as x, then related with that x we can state the other number also. And in such cases, it is better to choose the smallest one as x. Okay, it would be better if we choose the smallest one as x. So I am just choosing smallest number equals x. It is an assumption, so we can put let smallest number equals x. Then you can say that larger number would be how much more than x? It is 10 more than the smaller. So it would be x plus 10. 10 more means we need to add 10. Okay. So these are the two numbers. Now we want to create a linear equation with the help of these things. And for creating that linear equation, the sum is given. You know that the sum of the two numbers is 40. If the first number is x and the second number is x plus 10, what would be their sum? X plus 10. First number plus second number. Okay, this x plus 10, either you can put it in a bracket also, so that it would be equal to 40. X plus, now you can easily remove this bracket because outside this bracket it is plus sign, so there is no need of this bracket. Okay, so it would be x plus 10. What is x plus x? It is 2x plus 10, which is equal to 40. Now to solve this equation, 2x can be retained on the left, then put the equal sign. Then on the right it is already 40 there. Now this plus 10 has to be brought to the right, so that it would become minus 10. Now the 2x would be equal to 40 minus 10, it would be 30. Now if you want to find x, it would be 30 by 2. So that x would be equal to 15. Is our problem over? No. We need to find the two numbers, or we need to state which are the two numbers. So the first number would be 15, the smaller one. And the second number, in order to get the second number, with that 15 we need to add 10 more. So it would be 15 plus 10, which would be 25. So that we can say the numbers are 15, 25. These are the two numbers. Clear? There are two numbers numbers. Again there is two numbers. One is 5 more than the other. One number is 5 more than the other. Also 5 times the smaller number is equal to 4 times the larger number. What are the numbers? So the problem we discussed before, just before, was the same kind. Okay, there are two numbers. How can you choose those two numbers? One we can choose as x, and related with that we can state the other number also. So here again I am choosing the smaller number as x. Now what would be larger number? You can see that from the question, you can see that the larger number is 5 more than the other. So it would be x. If we want 5 more, it would be x plus 5. Okay. Now the second condition given here is not the sum. Here the second condition is 5 times the smaller number. What is 5 times the smaller number? 5 times the smaller number is x. So it would be 5x. 5 into x or 5x, which would be equal to 4 times the larger number. So that 5 times the smaller number is equal to 4 times the larger number. Which is the larger number? X plus 5. So this x plus 5, the larger number, has to be multiplied by 4. And here you can see how many terms are there? 2 terms. So obviously you need to put a bracket here. Clear? Now we can solve this linear equation. So how it could be? 5x, I am writing it again here. Then put the equal sign. Now this bracket can be splitted up. 4 into x, which is 4x. Now the sign is plus 4 into 5 on the next. So how it would become? 5x equals 4x plus, what is 4 5s are 20. Now bring all the x containing terms to the left. Already here it is 5x. When plus 4x is brought to left, it would become minus 4x. Then we can put the equal sign, and thereafter on the right side it is 20. Now 5x minus 4x, it is x itself. That would be equal to 20. So we got the first number, smaller number, which is 20. Then what would be the greater number? 5 more than, which means 20 plus 5, which is 25. So smaller number equals 20, and larger number equals that 20 plus 5. 20 plus 5, which is 25. These are the two numbers. So I hope you clear about how this problem is done. Now let's do another problem. Here is a special question for you. First of all, just read and understand the question very well. The sum of 4 consecutive integers is 178. So how many numbers are here? Actually the numbers here are integers. And they are consecutive. What is mean by consecutive? Consecutive means continuously following. Continuously following means there is no numbers skipped off. Clear? All the integers which are consecutive. How many integers are there? 4 integers are there. And if we sum up those 4 consecutive integers, then their sum would give rise to 178. Clear? We need to find what are those numbers, what are those integers. So here again, if there are 4 numbers, can we take them x, y, z or a, b, c, d, etc. like that? No. We need to choose only one variable. and to develop a linear equation to solve this problem. Okay, so again, as before, I am taking the smallest number as x. So smallest number, I am taking it as x. Now tell me, if the first integer is 5, then what would be the consecutive integers? It would be 6, 7, 8, etc. like that. Is that? So you can see that for obtaining the next integer, we are adding 1. Okay, 1 in each case. To the previous number, we are adding 1. So the second number would be x plus 1 added to this number. The third number would be again we need to add 1 to the previous number, which is x plus 1. We need to add x plus 1 plus 1, which would be x plus 2. Like that, you want to tell me which would be the fourth number. Obviously, it would be x plus 2 plus 1. It would be x plus 3. One more than the previous one. Clear? So, we can finalize that the numbers are, let the numbers are the first one x, comma, second one x plus 1, comma, third one x plus 2, comma, fourth one x plus 3. Okay. Now on next, we need to construct a linear equation. For that, the first data is given. Sum of all these numbers equals 178. How can you write it in mathematical as a mathematical equation? You can write it as x plus 1 plus x plus 2 plus x plus 3. That would be equal to 178. Actually, here you can put brackets, but we do not consider here brackets because the outside sign is plus. If there is minus sign, then you must have to put the brackets. Okay, here we don't want to consider because the sign is plus. Okay, so now the linear equation is available to solve this, and we need to find the value of x. So how it would become? There are so many x's. 1x plus x, it is 2x, plus x, it is 3x, plus x, it is 4x. Now there are numbers also to add. 1 plus 2 plus 3. What is 1 plus 2 plus 3? It is 6. And that would be equal to 178. Now you can easily find the value of x. It would be 4x. For x containing term, I am keeping it on the LHS. Then put the equal sign. Then on the RHS it is 178. This plus 6 when brought to the right, it would become minus 6. Okay. Now 4x would be equal to 172. What would be the value of x? It would be 172 divided by 4. On dividing, you can get the value of x. Can you tell me what would be the value of x? Yes, out of 17, 4 occurs 4 times. Clear? The balance 1. And in 12, it would be 3 times. So the answer would be 43. So our smallest number would be 43. Then we can easily say that the numbers are starting from 43, the 4 consecutive integers. 43, 44, 45 and 46. These would be the numbers. You can check your answer. If you sum up all these 4 numbers, you would get 178. I hope you clear how this problem is done. Listen here, there is another question for you. First of all, read 3 times a number added to 12 gives minus 6. Find the number. So a statement is given and a number has to be found out. That number is the unknown. So you can select the number is x. Now the next step is to construct a linear equation. For that, the above statement is given. 3 times a number. What is mean by 3 times a number? It is 3. The number is x. So 3 times a number is 3x. Added to 12. Added to 12 means we have 12. To that we are adding 3 times a number, which is 3x. So this is what is 3 times a number added to 12. And that gives minus 6, which means this value would be equal to minus 6. Now it is simple. The above statement is modulated into a linear equation. Now solving this, you would get the unknown or the number required. Clear? How can you solve this? This 3x I am keeping it as on the left itself. Then put the equal sign. On the right there is minus 6 already. When this 12, which is plus 12, brought to the RHS, it would become minus 12. So that it is 3x, which would be equal to minus. What is minus 6 minus 12? Both are negative. So answer also would be sure negative. And the sum of those two, 6 plus 12, which is 18. Now you can simply find the value of x. X would be equal to minus 18 by 3. X would be equal to, what is 18 by 3? It is 6. So it would be minus 6 itself. The number is minus 6. Okay. So you can write, at last you can write the number is minus 6. That's all. All of you listen. Here there is a special question for you. If you can do this question by yourself without my help, then you are wonderful. Okay. So just pause the video and try to read, understand and do the problem. Okay. I hope you tried to do the problem. Now let's check what would be the answer, how this problem can be done. Okay, so the question is 1/3 of which number must be subtracted from 7 by 11 to give 24 by 55. So there is a number, which number, that is the question. So we can take the number is x. Okay. Now the conditions has to be modulated to a linear equation. So for that, read this way more with the utmost care. 1/3 of which number? Which means 1/3 of number we need. The number is x. What is its 1/3? We have already discussed it in a previous problem. 1/3 of a number would be x by 3. 1/4 of a number would be x by 4. 2/4 or 2/3 of a number. How can you write? 2/3 means 2 by 3x. Okay. 5/7. How can you write? 5 by 7x. Okay, just like that. Here it is 1/3 of a number which is x by 3. And that 1/3 of which number must be subtracted from 7 by 11. So this 1/3 of this number is to be subtracted from which number? From 7 by 11. So first of all we need to consider the number 7 by 11. From that we need to subtract the number, not the number, the 1/3 of the number, which is x by 3. Okay. Then that would give 24 by 55. So if we done this operation, our answer would be 24 by 55. If so, you need to find what is that number x. You here you want to find the value of x. You can see this problem, and this problem can be done with the help of LCM method. Okay, you can see a lot of numbers are there on the denominator, which are the 11, 55 and 3. Now the LCM of these 3, 11 and 55, that has to be found first. Okay. Okay, tell me, how can you find the LCM of 3, 11 and 55? For the easy method for finding LCM is, if you have given a lot of numbers which whose LCM has to be found, then pick the greatest number, which is 55. Now check the multiplication table of 55, on which both the multiples of 11 and 3 comes the first. Okay, so when we consider 55, the number itself is a multiple of 11, but the problem is it is not a 55 is not a multiple of 3. So again we need to consider the next multiples of 55. The second multiple is 110. Clear? It is multiple of 11. Now all the multiples of 55 would be now the multiple of 11. But the problem is here, it would not be the multiple of 3. So we want to check furthermore to reach a number which would be a multiple of 3 also. So 110 is not possible. Next again we are adding 55 more. It would be 165. Clear? To 110, if we add 55, it would be 165. Is it a multiple of 3? Yes, because summing up the digits, you can see that 5 plus 1, 6, 6 plus 6 is 12. Okay, 12 is a multiple of 3. So the least common multiple of these three numbers are 165. Clear? Now we are going to multiply that 165. Multiply the equation with the equation by 165. What is that 165? The LCM of 3, 11 and 55. It would become 165 into 7 by 11 minus 165 into x by 3 equals 165 into 24 by 55. This would become our new equation. Now we need to solve this. Okay, let's try to solve this equation. It would be 165 and 11 can be cut. How many 11s are there in 165? In 110 there are 10 11s. Again for the next 55 there are 5 11s. So a total of 15 11s. 15 into 11 would be 165. So here we can write 15. This 11 can be cancelled. Now what would be 165 and 3? How can you divide? You got it as 3 into 55 equals 165. So 165 divided by 3 would be 55. Clear? So here we can write 55. Now on the right hand side, 55 and 165. 165 by 55, it would be 3. Okay. Now we can just write the equation as 15 into 7. Next, minus sign. 55 into x, which is 55x. That would be equal to 3 into 24. the equation, the big equation reduced to a simple one which we can solve easy. Okay, so on the next step, what is 15 into 7? 7 5s are 35. For 5 we put 1 7, 7 plus 3, it is 10. It is 105 minus 55x equals, what is 3 into 24? 3 4s are 12. For that 2 we can place. 3 2s are 6. 6 plus 1, it is 72. Now in order to find the value of x, keep this minus 55 on the left itself, then put the equal sign. Then thereafter there is 72 on the right. When we bring this 105 to the right, the sign is plus. It would become minus 105. Now on the next step, we can write minus 55x, there is x with it. Okay, minus 55x would be equal to, what is 72 minus 105? Again 1 plus and 1 minus, and the greater is minus, so our answer also would be minus. Now find the difference of these two. 105 minus 72. 100 minus 70, it is 30. Now 5 minus 2, it is 3. So answer would be minus 33. Clear? Now you can cancel the negative signs which are both on the left and right. So it would be 55x equals 33. Now in order to find x, it would be 33 divided by 55. You can see that in both 33 and 55 there is a common factor 11. So we can divide both sides by 11. Then it would become x equals, how many 11s are there in 33? 3 11s. How many 11s are there in 55? 5 11s. So our answer would be 3 by 5. So the number is 3 by 5. So we can complete it like this. The number is 3 by 5. So just have a look at how this problem is done. There had a number whose 1 by 3rd when subtracted from 7 by 11 would give 24 by 55. We just took the number as the x, alphabet x. Then we constructed the linear equation according to the question. And on that linear equation, there were numbers at the denominator. The numbers were 3, 11 and 55. We just considered the LCM. And the LCM is 165. That 165 is multiplied throughout the equation. Then the common factors are cut, so that it would reduce to a simple linear equation, which when solved to give the answer. Okay. So just like this, there are a lot of problems that are on your textbook. Some of them would be given as your homework for the next class. All of you must have to do it in proper time and you must have to send it to me. Okay, then only I can verify it. Those who do not send will be called. Okay, there would be an inquiry. So all of you must have to do the problems and submit to me. So let's see in the next class. Bye.